Good afternoon and welcome to today's podcast, Cash In, Simplified Deposits with Allpoint, brought to you by ABA Premier Partner NCR Atleos. I'm Craig Driver, Vice President of ABA's Partner Network and Member Engagement. Our guest today is Greg Donahue, Vice President, Solutions Management at NCR Atleos. Welcome, Greg, and before we launch into some questions, would you like to share a few thoughts about today's topic and NCR Atleos?
Yeah, thanks so much, Craig. I appreciate it. Always great to be here with the ABA, a tremendous partner of ours in the industry. And what a topic today. This is something that I guess over the last few years, cash deposits has been something that sort of started off as a novelty or something that was interesting for financial institutions to think about. But based on what we're seeing in the marketplace at a macro level and at a micro level, this is something that all financial institutions need to be paying attention to. This is the fastest growing need from a self-service perspective, from an ATM perspective in the industry. And I couldn't be more excited to be here with you today to talk more about it.
Fantastic. Well, thanks, Greg. Let's get started. What operational or strategic challenges do financial institutions face today that cash deposit enabled ATMs can help solve?
Yeah, I think that's the crux of why we're here, right? And I look at this in sort of two different ways. So at a very high level, cash is still a problem and it's going to continue to be a problem, right? From two different perspectives. The first is the amount of cash in circulation today isn't going anywhere, right? It's actually going up every single year, and that increase is actually outpacing inflation, right? So we're not just talking about going up a couple of percent a year matching inflation. It goes up even more than that, right? There's still a huge population of consumers across all different types of industries that are cash intensive. So how we deal with that cash and how we deal more importantly with the digitization of that cash continues to be something that is a problem. And it's a problem that we're very focused on investing in solutions and delivering solutions to the marketplace to solve, right? So the need is there from just a pure sheer volume perspective of how do we deal with this cash. What's causing sort of a hockey stick effect in the rise and the need to invest more and to focus more on this topic is the need for consumers to digitize the cash. Right. So although cash is present, cash is growing leaps and bounds every year in the ecosystem across the United States, there is still a strong desire from the people who have that cash and interact with that cash to take the cash and to digitize it and to turn it into digital asset. So this interaction has to happen someplace. The cash has to go somewhere. And we view that as being only a couple of different places where logically it can end up. It can end up at a bank branch, which is increasingly more expensive and causes friction and all those types of things, sort of goes against where most branches and most banks are headed today. Or it can end up in an ATM. And so when we think about what's the best way to get the physical currency that has to go somewhere that's growing every single year into digital assets, the best way is self-service. And right now, the best tool we have for that is an ATM. Now, the question and the right mix here is how do you get it into an ATM the most cost-effective way possible? And I suspect there's going to be a couple of questions later on that are going to ask that specific question. But at a high level, that's what we're talking about is how do we handle the problem of cash more cost-effectively using cash deposits at ATM?
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Greg. And certainly with your insights on cash going nowhere, that it certainly remains very high for consumer needs.
Whether you like it or you don't like it,
Yep.
you're going to have to deal with cash. And what we hear and what we're very focused on doing day in and day out is making it easier for financial institutions to deal with cash.
Yeah, that's great. And you did a fantastic job there of explaining the crossover from the cash world to digitization and back and forth. So that's great. So then how do Allpoint deposit-enabled ATMs fit into the broader strategy then of digital transformation for financial institutions?
Yeah. So we look at this as the same thing as the digitization that's happening, the digital transformation that's happening across things like mobile apps. At the end of the day, every financial institution, and frankly, almost any business on the face of the earth right now, the primary goal is to create a frictionless experience that's driven by self-service. Frictionless to make it an elite customer experience, driven by self-service to make it a very cost-effective interaction for the financial institution. Doing that at an ATM is no different than doing it at a mobile phone, right? Especially when you partner with someone like Allpoint, who can in some ways customize that experience. So as an example, when our issuers, our banks and our credit unions and our fintechs make deposits at our ATMs, they can own that transaction. They can own the brand equity in that transaction by putting their own brand marks throughout the entire process of the transaction. So we see digital transformation that happens via the phone, that happens via online account opening. We don't see the ATM as any different than a mobile phone. We see it maybe a little bit better because a mobile phone can only reach one person, and that's the person that's holding the phone. An ATM that sits inside of one of our great retail partners like CVS or a Walgreens or a Circle K, that ATM can serve literally thousands of people with the same elite experience that's extremely cost effective for financial institutions. So that's what we see. We don't see a difference between taking transactions off of a branch and putting them onto a retail ATM any differently than we see trying to create the same elite experience with a mobile phone that financial institutions are investing millions of dollars a year.
Yeah, that's great. So one key message is cash remains of key import to both customers and to banks. So along those lines, then, Greg, what competitive advantages do financial institutions gain by enabling cash deposits at your surcharge-free ATMs?
Yeah, that's really getting down to it. And I look at it as fairly cliche, right? It's the three C's. It's cost savings, it's convenience, and it's the consumer experience. So cost savings, I can guarantee you unequivocally, enabling surcharge-free at our ATMs alongside cash deposits, alongside all the brand impressions you can get by putting your own experience on those ATMs at over 40,000 ATMs in the United States. I can guarantee you there is no more cost-effective transaction when you look at it full stream from a P&L perspective. Nothing else in the marketplace can give you access to that many endpoints at the same cost structure when you compare it to the other options that are available in the marketplace. So when you compare it to what it costs to build a branch or to add an ATM, adding deposits and adding cash withdrawals to every ATM inside all of our retail partners is by far the most cost-effective way to go to market from a physical infrastructure perspective. The second C is convenience. We have over 40,000 ATMs in the United States. Our ATMs are specially placed inside merchants that are well known. So all of your cardholders know exactly where a CVS is, a Walgreens is, a Circle K is, a Costco is, a Kroger is. Those are well-known brands that are easy to market, easy to promote. And they also happen to be where those same cardholders are already completing bi-weekly, weekly, sometimes daily trips, depending upon what their habits are. So what we talk about a lot is trip combinations. Make it convenient for your cardholders. Why not give them the ability to complete their everyday banking transactions when they have to go to Kroger every single week to get their groceries anyway? Or at Circle K when they have to stop twice a week to get gas because maybe their commute's a little longer. Those are the types of convenient elements we're trying to put in place. And then the consumer experience. We own and we operate the vast majority of the 40,000 ATMs in the Allpoint network. That gives us the ability to customize that experience for our customers in a way that creates that elite digital consumer experience that we were talking about a few minutes ago, that matches the same investment that people are making in mobile and the online experience. So to wrap that up, it's the three C's: cost savings, convenience, and the consumer experience. We do that better than anybody else.
Yeah, that's great. And certainly at the end of the day, sounds like a great formula to both retain and win customers. So at the end of the day, you're increasing that depository base. That's fantastic, Greg. Really appreciate those insights. So how might folks listening today learn more from you and get in touch if they want to do that in the near future?
Yeah, there's a couple of different ways, right? I think that the fastest and the easiest is just go to allpointnetwork.com and you can reach us through the website. But also, I think most of the market has heard over the last couple of years, we're a part of the NCR Atleos family. So if you buy ATMs from NCR or you buy NCR ATMs through one of our fantastic channel partners, you know who to get in touch with to reach your NCR representative or your partner representative. and they can absolutely get you in touch with the right people to talk more about Allpoint enabling cash deposits.
Wonderful. Well, thanks again, Greg, and thank you to NCR Atleos, ABA Premier Partner, and thank you most importantly to our listeners for joining today as well. Have a great day.
Thanks so much.